Oh. Remember when I filmed last night and I told you everything's looking good, we're bullish, we got much more bull market ahead of us. And then right after I finished recording, well, all hell broke loose. And that's not clickbait. My portfolio from high of the day before yesterday to yesterday night went down 32%. Whew. It was a kick in the you-know-what. But was I concerned? Not at all. Why? Mostly because these sort of things are expected when we've had the raging bull market that we've already had. Number two, I wasn't worried because, as I will suggest to you tonight, I do not use any leverage. All my coins are mine, and all I do, which is a little bit risky, sort of, maybe not really, is I stake my coins. I put my coins on Binance. They have the best selection of coins. They also have the best staking options. So I take my coins and I stake them. So what does staking really mean? People that leverage probably got their whole accounts decimated last night because many coins you can leverage 3 to 1, 5 to 1, 10 to 1, which means you put up 10,000 and they let you have $50,000 worth of coin. The problem is days like last night go down 30, 32% in my case, and your whole account's wiped out. Your whole account's wiped out. I still have all my coins. I'm still staked. I'm still making new coins every day. So it didn't affect me at all. But if there was ever an example of why you should not leverage your already super volatile crypto stocks, last night was the day. So, in case you were living under a rock and you don't know what happened, let me just bring you up to speed. Mr. Biden said he was going to pretty much double the capital gains in the United States for those making, I guess, families making over $1 million, doubling it from 20% capital gains to almost 43% capital gains. In some states like California, where they have a 13% income tax on top of it, those people are paying about 57% tax on their capital gains. Youch. Makes me glad I'm a Canadian, because in Canada, capital gains are only taxed at half your normal tax rate. Whew. So all of us who live in Canada, Australia, Ireland, wherever you live in the world, you're all wondering, why is my portfolio having the crap kicked out of it? Because the United States may increase their tax rates on their citizens. Well, welcome to being the tail of the dog. Canada is very used to this. If the United States does something stupid and gives their economy a kick in the gut, Canada's economy seems to go right along with it. And in this case, even though Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are a global currency, peer-to-peer, no government intervention, nobody in the middle, things like this spook the market. And really, there's no reason for it, other than people that were on leverage were forced to liquidate. Companies like Binance, exchanges like Binance that allow people to leverage will, in the middle of the night, just decide, you do not have any capital left, sell. And they take back all the money that they already have, give it back to people like me who are making interest on people who are leveraging. I get my coins, Binance gets their cut, and the leverage people get bubkiss. So, yeah, I feel sorry for you if you have been leveraging, but here's my suggestion. Learn from this. You're going to probably have to refund your account, like put more currency in there to get it started over again. But we have a long bull market ahead of us. There's plenty of time to make up for it. In fact, if you look at the stock market today, when Biden came out, I guess around 2:30 Eastern time and said, well, I don't think he even officially said, he never had a media conference. It was leaked that he was thinking of, in essence, doubling the capital gains. The stock market went for a dumper badly and ended the day really, really down. Well, what happened overnight? Everybody had time to breathe. Everybody decided, could this even happen? And you realize, no, it really couldn't happen because there's lots of senators on the Democratic side, and they only have one extra vote in the Senate over the Republicans. I've already said they are not interested in raising capital gains this much. Now, will there be a rise? Most likely. Mr. Biden campaigned on raising taxes on the rich, and he has to at least try, right? He's going to throw a huge number out there. It's like going to a car dealership and trying to buy a car. The car dealership will say, hey, this SUV is worth $55,000. And then you go back and go, hell no, I'm not paying $55,000. I'll pay $30,000. And then they come back with, how's $45,000 sound to you? And you say, how's $40 sound? And that's how it works. So Biden throws out this Hail Mary, I'm going to double capital gains rates. A bunch of senators say, especially on the Republican side, say, hell no. And on the Democratic side, a few of them say, hell no. And then all of a sudden Biden goes, okay, well, how about from 20 to 29%? And then some people go, no, how about 25%? And they meet in the middle. So to all the Americans, you probably can expect your capital gains rates to go up. And don't be at all surprised. The history of any sort of tax increase always starts with a carrot for everybody else and a stick for the rich. But let's be honest. They'll say, we're only going to tax the rich. And then they go, okay, it's $1 million threshold. And then once the taxes, everybody agrees, everybody below $1 million is like, hell yeah. What's the money going towards? Childcare and education. Well, who doesn't want more childcare and education? So everybody who doesn't have to pay it goes, I'm all for it. And then the rich people who have slews of accountants to get through every loophole in the tax system don't end up paying the tax anyway. So the government goes, okay, instead of $1 million, they bring it to $500,000. And then they bring it to $250,000. And then they bring it down to 100,000. And before you know it, everybody's paying the higher capital gains rates. It's just the way things are. Do you know that when income tax was created at the beginning of the century, it was meant to be a tax just on the wealthy? It was only supposed to be 5%. And it was sold as, we need to pay back the war debt that we've created. And everybody who didn't have to pay it went, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, let's tax the rich. And even the rich probably thought, 5% to help the government get out of debt, back when governments usually run, balanced budgets, which they don't anymore. They even went, well, 5%, shit, I guess I can afford that. And then before you know it, it wasn't just the rich. And before you know it, wasn't just 5%. And now here we are where Americans in certain states are paying over 50% of their income in taxes. And it's not just the rich. It's the lower middle class all the way through to the top. And like we all know, the people at the very top, the 1%ers, don't pay hardly any tax. I mean, look at Warren Buffett. Look at a lot of people. They'll say, oh, I'm all for more taxes to the rich. But when it comes down to it and you actually find out what their tax return says, they didn't pay very much tax. As a percentage of their massive wealth, they're paying pennies on the dollar. So yeah, don't be surprised if this capital gains thing goes through as just against the rich until it eventually becomes the middle class, and then it becomes the lower middle class. The only ones who won't pay it will be the lower class. So there you go. Anyways, I just want to get into the charts and talk about where we were yesterday, where I thought we were going to go. And I did say in previous episodes, what all this technical analysis we're going to see is always based on normal news patterns. If all of a sudden the government came out and said, we're outlawing cryptocurrency, even though they really couldn't, if they said that, even hinted at it, the cryptocurrencies would take a dump for a little while until people really assess, wait, they can't do that. And then it would come back like it's already done on this tax gain. So technical analysis is sort of assuming absent any earth-shattering news. And we had sort of earth-shattering news. I don't even think this is really that earth-shattering because he ran for election saying he was going to raise the tax on the rich. So we shouldn't have been surprised. Let's check the charts. Okay, let's just check out CoinMarketCap just to show you the carnage. It's actually gone back a lot. I mean, things were down 20, 30%, and now things are down like 10. From this first page here, my 32% loss from my all-time high of 2 days ago, I think 2 days ago is my all-time high, to the end of last night was 32%, and I'm now only down 16%. So I've gained back half of it. So we all just need to breathe, because this is going to be fine. You're going to see the graphs in a second and how this is a common thing to get a big dip, even on a raging bull market. But just back to this coin market cap, you can see pretty much, other than you can't count Tether because Tether is tethered to the US dollar. So of course it's not going to go up or down much. As you can see from this graph over here, it's like pretty much a straight line. Cardano. So let's talk about the coins I have. I have Binance down 11.9%. I have Cardano down 14% in the last 24 hours. I have Polkadot down 14%. And I have Vechain down 15%. So there you see it right there. I am not in Bitcoin. Not that I don't believe Bitcoin's a good coin. I just thought there's more growth potential in those 4 coins, and I have more coins in mind for the future. But I had more confidence in those 4 coins having a better growth rate over the long run, and I plan to hold these coins for the long run, than Bitcoin. I just feel there's more utility to these other coins, more growth potential to these other coins. But the flip side of that coin is when things go down, they tend to go down more than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is like the big massive coin that has the highest market cap. Now the market cap's down to under $1 trillion, but $1 trillion market cap, it's hard to move that coin as much as some of the smaller coins like Cardano, which is only 37 billion. Almost 1,000 billion to 37 billion. It doesn't take as much to move a Cardano as it does Bitcoin. But I still wholeheartedly believe in those 4 coins. And I've got another coin that I'm thinking of getting very, very soon. Let's go into the Bitcoin. Okay, I just wanted to show you this. This is, unfortunately, Binance doesn't have Bitcoin going back all the way to 2009 when it was started. I guess Binance must have started it in 2017, so that's as far as their graph goes back. But it catches the point I wanted to make here. So this was the old high of the last bull market, and there's a system here, a 4-year cycle with Bitcoin, because there's a halving every 4 years, therefore there's a 4-year cycle, yada, yada. You get the point. The last bull market was 2017. And it's funny how small that $20,000 top was in 2017 when you look at where we are now. But you go, oh, look at this big drop over here. That was big. That was last night's drop. And you go, yes, but it's because you don't see the drops over here because this graph looks way too small. Now let's zoom it in. Let's bring it back. Let's get in here and see what kind of drops we had. And unfortunately, I wish Binance had the graph go back further, but we're just going to look at a couple of examples here. We'll get the old yardstick out here and we'll show the high to the low, 32%. Similar to what we just had last night, right? And that was over 4 days. We seem like we've already snapped back 50% in 1 day. So this was a news event, not a problem. And back here, same thing. From here to here is 44.09%. 44% fall from high to low on that daily chart back then. So look, you then see it went all the way up to 20,000. I bet this dip from here down to here too is also big, but you get my point. There are these pullbacks. You can't expect this to go up parabolically, exponentially, in a straight line without some pullback, because there's always somebody out there, the whales, the big institutions that want to get into crypto, want to get into Bitcoin, but they want it to be at a lower rate. All they have to do is spread some FUD, some fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and then push enough new sales on the market to break some support lines, and then everybody freaks out and everybody starts selling, and all those people on leverage are forced to sell to liquidate the account, and it becomes this snowball rolling down a hill, and you get these crazy 30-40% drops. So this is 2017. Now let's zoom back over to where we are now, and same thing. We had this drop, which was 30%, but check out this. If we go from the high here to the low here, that was 32%. So there we go. That was just not too long ago. Let's look at this one over here. From here to here, 26%. So these things happen constantly. Well, not constantly, not every second day or we'd all have a heart attack, but they happen regularly enough that you should not freak out. And here's the hourly chart just showing you the highs to lows. 26%. And as you can see with Bitcoin, it's already started coming. It got down to as low as, I guess, 47,000. And we're about 51,000 now. So we're coming back. But let's talk about the coins that I own that I think have a little bit more upside, but probably took a little bit more pain. First, let's talk about ADA. Now, ADA was the one, this is where we were talking last night. If you remember last night's episode, I said, we just broke through this downward trend line. We broke through it and we were above it. And I said, let's see if we can stay above it. Because if so, I think we're going back to the top of this trend line. If you haven't seen last night's episode, yeah, go back and check it out. We were a little more optimistic then. And then this happened. And we broke through this lower trend line. But as you can see, let's extend that back across. We're back above it. So this was fear, uncertainty, and doubt that just had a bunch of people panic, a bunch of leverage people have to leverage, a bunch of whales probably pushing on it to make us break this support line. And they knew that that would give them the ability to get in down here. Oh, and look at this bright green line. Guess what that is? That's the Fibonacci. That's the Fibonacci. From down here to the top, the Fibonacci at the 38% is that green line. And what do you know? Other than this little candle wick here that got through it, no candle closed below it, and we're back up. My gut feeling is we're going to head back up towards the top of this line, which is the old high, and we'll probably get there before we break. My gut feeling is we'll go up to that before we break down through this. But you have to always say, what if, right? What if we broke through this? Well, then the next support, and you can see works out perfectly with the Fibonacci line, is back here, and that's at about 84 cents. So there you go. That's ADA. Now let's talk about Vechain. Similar story. Had this nice upward trend line. It was above it last night. I was thinking we were going to hit the top one, maybe break through, go to the top. I even had this line drawn in on here that if we broke this upward trend line, the height from here to here is the height from here to here. That's where I was seeing us go in the next move. But of course, the news came out and we went down. And we stopped exactly at the Fibonacci line. So these Fibonacci's are working out to be strong support. Let's look at Polkadot. Similar thing. We were in an upward trend line in between this channel here, and we broke below it. We broke below this Fibonacci. We stopped above the 50% Fibonacci, and now we're just barely above it. Like I say, can we count on it not rolling over and going back down? No, it could happen. Maybe some new news comes out tonight. But we got the support at the 50% retracement line. If we do stay above the 38, then I think we're going to hit this upward channel up here around $48. And then my favorite of all favorites, and actually look at this, didn't even do badly, Binance. This is the one I have the most in, and then Vechain's my second most. It never even broke the support line. That's a good sign. So yeah, it got hit like every other coin, but it was in the middle of the channel, and it was looking a little healthier when this went down. So it never even violated this upward support line, and now it's back up. So it stayed above the 38%. We're heading back up towards the zero line, this high way up here on this wick. So all good things. So, this is the one I wanted to talk about. This is the one I wanted to get into, and I was hoping for actually more of a sell-off. And that's sort of the silver lining of this pullback, is if you had money on the sideline just waiting to get in one of your favorite cryptocurrencies, last night and this morning was probably a golden opportunity. I wanted to get in Cake, which is PancakeSwap. I'll tell you why I want to do in a second, but never even broke this support line and is on its way back up. Now, PancakeSwap is BNB's, it's on the Binance Smart Chain, and it has more transactional volume than Uniswap. Then all of Ethereum's smart chains combined is PancakeSwap, which is Binance's version of a coin-to-coin swap utility. And the reason it's so popular, why it's getting so much more volume, is if you go on Binance Swap and let's say you want to swap whatever, Binance coin for DAI or any other coin for, I'm throwing DAI as just an example out there, you might pay a $1 fee. We're talking no matter how big of a coin-to-coin swap you're doing, you're going to get a fee of like 80 cents to $1.50, whatever, depending on which coin, but very, very insignificant fee. So on Ethereum, because they have so much congestion and such high gas fees, if you go on Uniswap, which is Ethereum's version, it's more like $50, sometimes $80. Sometimes I've heard people saying they've gotten fees for $100. Which sure, if you're spending $10,000, what's $80, right? I mean, but if you can spend that kind of money and only have to pay $1, easy choice, isn't it? Go to the Binance Smart Chain and go through PancakeSwap. So there you go. That is why Pancake is just eating into Ethereum's supposed lead, and they pretty much proved on volume alone that they are winning big time. So this is the coin I wanted to get into. I was kind of hoping we get a big old sell-off here, but it didn't happen. But I'm going to still take my staked coins that keep accumulating in my spot wallet. I'm going to trade them all into Binance Coin and then buy PancakeSwap with that. That's my plan for the not too distant future. So there we go. Nice, sweet, no reason to be fearful. This is common. You get some FUD in the market, everybody panics, people get forced to leverage, people lose their whole accounts because they've leveraged. Don't leverage, bad idea. There's such great gains in cryptocurrencies. I mean, we've had blow your hair back rates of returns in the last year and a half. Why do you need to risk it? It's like playing Russian roulette by leveraging an already meteoric rise by going 5-1. It's Russian roulette. You win, great. The next time you try it, maybe that bullet goes right out of the chamber and you lose your entire account. So don't do it. Don't do it. That's all I got to say. And yeah, so one last thing I wanted to mention. Remember this? Yesterday I said brand new channel. Love the support so far. I had 203 subscribers. Well, I just checked before I came on here and I now have 286 subscribers. Woo! So jump on there, subscribe if you haven't already. If you want more content like this. Yeah, what do you win if you go in now? Spaces are limited to be under 300. That's all I can offer you. You can say, you have the bragging rights to send me a little message to say, remember when you only had 300 subscribers? Well, I was one of those first 300. And I'll say, thank you very much. Let's have a beer if we ever meet in person. So I appreciate all those that have subscribed. I've really enjoyed doing this content. I do have a regular job, so sometimes I can only do it when I come home from my regular job. I would love to be out putting 2 and 3 videos out a day like some of these other channels, but I'll try and get at least one every second day. I don't want to overpromise. One every second day, talking about a different cryptocurrency that's gotten my interest. We'll talk about the news. We'll talk about catalysts that are coming up, and then we'll look at the charts and see where resistance and where we think some price projections will go. So if that's something you're interested in, subscribe. If you enjoyed this episode, show the channel some love by giving it a thumbs up. I guess that helps the old algorithm with YouTube, suggest it to more people. And let's get me above 1,000 subscribers, because if you don't know already, YouTube will not advertise on anybody who has a channel with less than 1,000 subscribers. And if they can't advertise, they don't help promote you to anybody. So unless somebody's a subscriber, they don't see these videos, which I've already proven. So yeah, get us above 1,000. And what I'll do for you if we get above 1,000 is I will do a live broadcast where we'll do it during trading hours, or well, I guess trading hours. Cryptos trade 24/7, so there's really no off time, but we'll do a live thing where I'll post it ahead of time so that we can have live. I can read your comments, I can answer questions. It'll be fun, but we'll wait till we get to 1,000, because what's the point doing it if there's only 200 subscribers? There might only be 4 people on the thing. You never know. I know. There's nothing worse than doing a live feed and having nobody there and you're talking to yourself, sort of like I'm doing now. Anyways, have a great night. Don't panic. Don't let the FUD get to you. Don't leverage. And until next time, this is Craig signing off saying ciao for now.
We're chasing